when I saw it in the theaters.
Yeah, okay, you're you're a fetus, yes.
Fetus.
Right. Even though you were already born, it was your fetus.
In that theater in London.
Palace Theater, right?
The Palace Theater, that's it.
This is so getting cut.
Fairhour Electronics presents its new model, the Mark 13. The Mark 13 is self-repairing, capable of recharging its storage batteries from just about any power grid, including the sun.
Get ready for an encounter with some seriously heavy metal.
3, 2, 1, 0.
Everybody, get down!
The Hardcast.
It's time for another dangerously self-repairing episode of the Hardcast. I'm your host, Chris, and today I'm joined by Spanish.
Testicles, that is all.
And Patrick.
This is what you want. This is what you get.
Tonight's review/discussion is about the 1990 post-apocalyptic sci-fi thriller Hardware, directed by Richard Stanley, starring Dylan McDermott and Stacey Travis. The 21st century world is a wasteland. A wandering nomad comes across the remains of a military cyborg known as the Mark 13. The Mark 13 finds its way into the home of a wandering ex-soldier and a metal sculptress. The cyborg soon begins to rebuild itself and goes on a killing rampage. So Patrick, did Hardware upgrade your opinion of early 90s low-budget sci-fi, or did it leave you feeling like you had been castrated by a broken wooden bat?
What the fuck? Why has to be castrated? Why can't it be drinking that weird-ass tea she had boiling or something? Or
Patrick, that's not the only option. You can upgrade your opinion of
drilled by a metal penis phallic drill. How about that?
Or, no, you raped? Okay, I want me to say you were raped by a metal penis. Okay.
Well, this movie was, I guess, for the budget, it really.
Well, we have to say that the budget was roughly around $1.5 million.
After watching the special features where they shot everything and having to deal with that weird-ass director who wears a trench coat like 24 hours a day.
I think he was taking a little bit of that toxin that the Mark 13 was using on people, except it didn't kill him. Yeah, he just left him eternally hallucinating.
Anyway, it was a good movie in that sense. It was very visual, especially the shower scene and a few other scenes.
And the soundtrack was memorable.
The soundtrack was memorable.
Get right into the very beginning with the wandering nomad. Your favorite character?
At the beginning of the movie, we come across a nomad. He's just basically one of those guys who scours.
He's like a scavenger.
Scours the he's a scourer, not a scavenger, Chris. Anyway,
okay, I'm sorry.
He's like a desert punk of the of the desert.
Oh wow!
Desert punk of the desert.
Yeah.
Allow myself
getting
to
specific here, aren't you?
Yeah, it's blood of the earth.
He's just basically looking for stuff to sell or trade, which seems to be the kind of life that is present at that time after the apocalyptic, whatever, I guess all those bombs going off and radiation and the atmosphere. They didn't really explain too much about it, but I guess maybe the atmosphere disappeared or then it was... Anyway, so he's in the desert and he finds some robotic parts. Of course, you see like a dead body next to a minefield and he goes around the minefield and finds all these...
Apparently, from Wikipedia, the guy who played the so-called Zone Tripper, which is our nomad or scourer or desert punk of the desert, if you want to put him, was the vocalist from the group called Fields of Nephilim, which I guess the director did a music video for.
And I have to say that after watching the movie, even though it was a good movie and the characters were all right, I thought the movie should have been about him. Right?
Yeah.
I really felt strongly they can make a whole movie just about him and him finding shit.
They would just call it Desert Punk of the Desert?
Yes, Desert Punk of the Desert. Yeah, because he had a certain look, his eyes and his wardrobe and everything. He was just cool.
Well, he was mysterious and interesting, I guess.
Well, even at the end of the movie, you see him walking off, which I never understood why. They just show him.
Well, they want to end on a positive note. They want
positive note.
Yeah, because the best part of the movie is him in the beginning, so they put him at the end again. So it's like, yes, this was a good movie, right?
So I guess you could make a little mini movie if you take all the parts with him in it. It'd be about 5 minutes.
Yeah, if you just put it in slow motion.
Desert Punk of the Punk. Desert Punk of the Desert.
AKA Scourer.
He gets some parts, and he decides to take it to...
well, the biggest thing, and probably one of the most iconic visuals in the movie, is him slowly pushing the sand away and uncovering this metal skull of the cyborg. I thought it was very well filmed. Of course, the director was saying he dreamt about that particular scene, and he always wanted to have it in a movie, I suppose. And then he put it in the movie, and I thought it was quite a striking visual.
Not that the striking, actually.
It was fairly striking.
It's somewhat striking.
Okay.
Medium striking.
You convinced me.
I think Spanish can take it from here.
Well, our supposed desert punk of the desert nomad scourer, whatever the hell you want to call him, goes into this makeshift shop. Here you meet another one of these characters. I guess you would call him an Oompa Loompa.
An Oompa Loompa.
Yeah, he's a midget. We would call him.
He was kind of big for a midget. I think he was actually
A dwarf?
Yeah, dwarf. But I think he was also in the movie, what's it called? Time Bandits from...
Terry Gilliam?
Yeah, it's Terry Gilliam.
So, well, I guess a midget, dwarf, two Vernon Troys put together, whatever. You have a fairly short individual running the shop, okay? And he buys and sells scrap parts. You know, that's all you can do now. I guess
He just seems kind of like the post-apocalyptic pawn shop.
Yeah, you could say that's old, like, school computer equipment, whatever the hell's in there.
Everything in this movie is old school computer equipment, but anyway.
Well, okay, you didn't have to go out and say it, but...
It's been said. The deed is done.
The Nomad doesn't meet makeshift dwarf guy. He meets our main character.
Moses.
Or Mo for short.
Yeah.
Thinks that whatever Mo's running the shop, and Mo makes him an offer for whatever scrap parts he has and make the exchange. And Mo, basically, his whole thing is like, I can bring this to my girlfriend, where she lives in the city. From then on, he goes into the city.
Yeah, but he's accompanied by his friend, Shades, who is a very weird character.
Yeah, he wears his sunglasses day and night. He probably sleeps with it, jerks off with it. It doesn't matter.
Right. I think he probably sleeps and jerks off at the same time while wearing them. While he's dreaming about jerking off and wearing his sunglasses. But
Or while he's meditating and doing all that weird shit he doesn't during the movie.
yeah. Actually, this is the part of the movie I liked a lot, was the world building, as far as you see all the scenery and the sets and everything around him. You see the piles of junk and scrap all around and the people running around. And I thought everyone was wearing appropriately post-apocalyptic garb. And I also liked the part with Lemmy as the water taxi driver. And just seeing this post-apocalyptic world. They try to give a little background here and there. You see, like, Shades is trying to tell Mo all about New York. It was kind of interesting because you felt there was this whole world out there, and it was pretty fucked up.
And let us not forget about Angry Bob, whose voice is by Iggy Pop.
Yes, he is the radio host who just pops up and gives everyone their daily dose of bad news.
Yeah, he even says, good news? Oh, don't have any.
No, he goes, and now for the good news. There's no fucking good news. And then he also tells everyone that he has an industrial dick.
Yippee hooray.
Yes, we're all jealous.
Moving along, we are also introducing his girlfriend, which basically shows up in her apartment. Her apartment's actually pretty cool, which later on we see where like most of the movie takes place. But like they still have some of the common things that we use today. For instance, like a coffee pot, and closely in the coffee pot when she's making it, it's all like this dirty water and it's like bugs in it and shit. It's fucking gross. But
well, I wasn't sure exactly if that was bugs and shit, or if it was just that she went out and they were like the herbs and plants or whatever that were still left behind that you could actually make a tea out of.
It looked like bark.
Yeah, it looked like roots and bark.
But I mean, for the apartment she had, wasn't she on unemployment or something?
She was getting checks, but they also made it sound like he was, the boyfriend, Mo, was also sending her checks. He was paying for, I don't know, the mortgage, the rent, the security, whatever it was for the building.
Which is bullshit, because when he gets there, she's all like, oh, he's back? I'm like, if he's really paying for the stuff, then he should be, let me in, goddammit. It's my house too.
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
yeah, seriously.
I don't know. She must just rate her pussy very high, I guess.
Well, given being like a post-apocalyptic war, like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
She's got red hair. She's not fat. Hey, giddy up.
And she's not, yeah, she's not mutated or anything.
And she likes popcorn, right? Pop, pop, pop.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a little bit. She likes to ride the Hershey Highway. But we see her apartment is pretty, it's like a fortress, really. You go in there, and it's got this big, heavy metal door that seals you in or keeps people out. And then she's got her security system, semi-security system, because she has to rely on some like pretty lazy chess playing.